Welcome back to Breakfast Central. This morning, as we review the papers, we have journalist of Global Repute, Habib Aruna, here with us in the studio. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much to the formidable Mr. Habib Aruna. Always a pleasure to have you.
Always a pleasure.
And it was a weekend, but so many things happened over the weekend. The chairman of the APC resigned. We weren't expecting that. And we saw the peace. I mean, some people have been calling for President Tinubu to be given a Nobel Peace Prize for being able to solve the debacle in Rivers State, you know, between Nyesom Wike and Siminalayi Fubara. They took it away from Aso Rock and they attended a social event together over the weekend. I think it was...
Even though at the social event, there was not really any form of friendly interaction.
You know, you take some time after fighting. You don't expect them to be jumping and body like that.
I was actually in Enugu for editors' conference.
Oh yes, I saw
and convention.
The who and who in Nigerian journalism were
there. Did they invite you?
I was supposed to be there. I couldn't catch my flight.
Okay, let's go into the papers and see what the big stories are. Daily Trust. The front page says PDP NEC meeting holds today. NWC members insist. They're still holding it. This 30th of June NEC meeting. Interesting. No, it's expanded caucus session, the Magrum's group say. So whether we like it or not, a meeting is holding. It's what kind of meeting? They have different nomenclatures for the meeting. One said it's the NEC meeting, and that one said it's caucus expansion. Ganduje's exit. CPC block North Central push for APC chairmanship. How Naira depreciation pushed Nigeria's debt to 249.39 trillion Naira. Dan Tata for burial in Saudi Arabia today. 2027. Sean Sycophant Dangiwa tells Tinubu, let's talk about Ganduje's exit. The speculations have started. This morning we had Ladipo Johnson from the NNPP tell us that they haven't heard any official feedback regarding Ganduje Rabi Kwankwaso meeting. The same thing was what Felix Mock has said, that there's nothing official and that Ganduje's resignation is based on health reasons. You have seen the argument as to the political undertone that it may be laced with, but let's get your thoughts.
First of all, I told you guys here that there's likely to be some rapprochement in the reverse crisis. That the brother will come back, but there must be give and take. That's what we are seeing now, playing out. We can still be
But it seems the giving is more than the taking.
No, but to give this a chance, people have if you want to be under pressure, to just do the right thing.
Okay, so we're talking reverse. Okay, no problem. Let's talk reverse.
Okay. I'll just try to use that as a preamble.
Okay, so use it as a preamble because we still have reverse to talk about.
Yes,
so.
the Dangote matter. You see, there have been these talks that there's realignment and strategizing by Tinubu and his aides. We are likely to see more of it. Ganduje does not fit into their strategy for now. Then, because of his many garbages the man is carrying, alleged corruption, collecting money and houses from aspirants, and the man he has many enemies in the party. Look at him, it's not a secret.
But looking at what is going on,
and the VP are not
some people have described Mr. President as a use and dump politician. Looking at his antecedents in Lagos, how he used 3 deputy governors, and how he has used the vice president, because there's every speculation that the vice president would not be returning on that 2027 ticket. And also the recent resignation of Umar Ganduje. What does this say about the character of
won't see President
Tinubu? Is he a use and dump
I will see it as a man that is pragmatic.
His pragmatism is another way of use and dump.
To you, it's use and dump, but the man is looking in the future.
In other words, looking at the game.
Absolutely. He's playing his game, and we are likely to see more. Look at...
Until you are a victim of that
Look at the news you just read. Not Central, are already justly the position of chairmanship. The rumor, passive rumor in quote, or removal of Shetima.
Somebody is already justly. He said, I will do anything I want me to do as vice president. Remember that.
Strategically placed in a good position to run the game in 2027, and to win. That's what we're seeing. Okay. But some may not be happy in the party. But Tinubu and his anglers, they know what they are doing. That is my view.
Okay. Let's move to the next paper, the Daily Independent. Nigeria's rising debt revenue shortfalls deepen fiscal worries. Presidency replies Obi justifies Tinubu's trip to St. Lucia. Account for security votes, Terra tells governors. Stakeholders worry over heightened mass unemployment in Nigeria. FX risk, others push airlines to pursue dry lease with states. Dangote 720 billion naira CNG drive to save Nigerians 1.7 trillion naira and lift 42 million MSMEs. 3.5 billion naira Nigeria's services account deficit highlights weakness in FX generation. And finally, PDP crisis deepens as NWC holds parallel meetings ahead of NEC.
I mean, very serious crisis there. Different factions, different meetings. But there are things I want us to focus on here. Two items. For me, we'll be looking at security votes and also Dangote 720 billion. The trucks have started arriving, the CNG drive to save Nigerians 1.7. Some have said this is the final nail in the coffin of monopolization of the downstream sector of the Nigerian economy, that this is taking it too far. But I mean, from his own perspective, he said, look, we'll bring the products to you, we'll save you time, and all of that at no charge. What do you make of this initiative by Dangote?
He's a key player there.
Yes.
The man owns the yam and the knife. and I've always...
the yam and the knife?
Yes, I've always...
What about the palm oil?
No, those are inconsequential. The main thing is the yam and the knife. You see, in this enterprise, Dangote is the sole provider. You know, and in the country where you have massive corruption, the salaries are not working, or they fail to work because people are putting the money in their pockets. So the money is sending to the bank. Is Dangote? So we Nigerians, we will be at the mercy of Dangote if something is not done. We don't have people that are decisive in government to put this right. And I don't think it is in the best interest of Nigerians and its development. If you like, by extension, its growth was a single person to control this. Look at our experience in sugar, our experience in the way it controls cement, and even salt.
But looking back at how things used to be and how we used to queue for days and endless queues, we don't see that anymore. And in fairness, the prices reflect what is the global benchmark for the product. So I mean, of course, it's also a capitalist and a businessman who has to make
see the completion of Boa refinery in Akwa Ibom. I can't wait. I don't like someone monopolizing all these things. I'm telling you, because at the end of the day,
so what options are left? What options are left?
So I want Nigerians to insist, and to pressurize government to resuscitate our refineries. If they are resuscitated, there's no way price will not go down. There'll be competition. But for now, another floor marketers are shouting.
If you had a floor marketer, what advice would you give them? Looking at the way things are going.
Floor marketer will be at the mercy of Dangote as time goes on. Don't forget that anytime Dangote sneezes, all of us
they catch a cold.
So, and if they are reducing the price of the next money you see it, they reduce how much you pay to buy fuel. So I think government should be more serious about these things. They should be more serious. There should be emphasis in making sure that our refineries are working. If they are working, Dangote will face competition. And if we face competition, consumers will benefit.
Just last week, Oliver and I were talking about the people that are supposed to make it work in Warri, and now they're under EFCC custody because they took the money that was meant to make it work into other ventures. But they will answer those questions as to why it's not working, and they will show workings for the money spent as time goes on.
Amen. Let's still look at the front page. The left corner of the paper, you can see Presidency replies Obi justifies Tinubu's trip to St. Lucia. So you've seen the back and forth. His Excellency Peter Obi thinks that is very not those words, but in some measure I think is implying that it's not really responsible of the presidency to be going on these kind of trips when Nigeria is facing serious insecurity challenges. In the response to this, Bayo Onanuga says, in the wake of some Nigerians' misguided, mischievous, and uninformed comments regarding President Bola Tinubu's historic state visit to St. Lucia, it is necessary to clarify the purpose of the visit. And then he goes on to say, first, From the perspective of the government of St. Lucia, the visit by the Nigerian leader paves the way for the rekindling of our ancestral bonds, igniting a new era of diplomatic, cultural, and economic possibilities between our nations. He goes on, there are a lot of things he says about how the people of St. Lucia are excited that the president is visiting them. Then in a separate tweet, he responds to the post and said, "This is for Peter Obi, whose opposition strategy appears to be focused on weaponizing everything under the sun, persistently challenging President Tinubu's every initiative and move, regardless of merit, equating constant criticism with effective opposition." Let's get your thoughts.
Is Mr. Amenuga just doing his job, or is taking it too far?
No, well, I think Amenuga is doing his job. As the presidential spokesperson.
Mr. Peter Obi
as the image maker.
And is Mr. Peter Obi not doing his job
as the image maker of President Tinubu? I've always said it on your program that a Peter Obi is important. A Peter Obi is a major component of our democracy. If our democracy must grow, people like Peter Obi, people like Atiku Abubakar, opposition leaders are important for us to grow this democracy. We want to put the government on their toes. And the response that Haruna gave us today is a normal thing. You know, if there's no Obi's action, there won't be reaction from Haruna. They're always telling us, but Nigerians are also watching. And they will be the judge. They will judge who is deceiving who here. But this man travel all the time. We travel to St. Lucia and from there to another place.
He's going to Brazil for...
No one are we talking. No, why did man just sit down at home and face the challenges affecting the country and try to...
But we need foreign investors, and the world is a global...
So we must travel to go foreign investors? You know, those are the questions. But Obi should keep on talking. But the response of Haruna
at the end of the day,
is an indication that
everyone is...
That the power corridors, people are listening. You keep on talking.
Yes, and like you said, everyone is doing their job. Even us that were reporting this, we're also doing our job.
But in response to what he's saying, you know, I don't know, do we get the sense that he's being insensitive to Nigerians? And I know that part of why he's raising this up is because, or highlighting this, is because if you recall, he couldn't go to Yelwata, the president couldn't go to Yelwata community. He couldn't go to visit the affected victims, those who were directly affected because of the rain and the floods, you know, and also the fanfare that surrounded the president's visit to Benue, the public holidays, the children lining up on that.
I think we should put this thing in perspective. The president cannot visit everywhere, every disaster zones. The president has advisors, people that he appointed. He has aides. The vice president visited some of these places, and he went to Benue. You know, and that visit to Benue was very consequential and very instructive. That peace may reign. And since that visit, you can see that killings have a bit subsided. So it can't be everywhere, you know. But at the same time, the president should also attend to some matters outside the country.
Now, let's look at this piece from SERB. They're saying account for security votes. SERB tells governors the current structure as it stands. Governors, it almost feels like it's a blank check, the security votes. Is there any level of scrutiny or accountability? As someone that has been very close and walked in the corridors of power, looking at Lagos State, for example, what's the accountability mechanism for security votes?
That's a big question. Security votes have been under intense debate and scrutiny. But nobody will tell you what's going on with that vote. It's under the discretion of the governors.
Do the people deserve
and the last time I checked, the governors are very, very powerful in this current enterprise. Very, very powerful. There's no checks and balances. I said it last week here. In the states, the government behave like emperors.
So what about the state houses of assembly?
The Secretary of Assembly, unfortunately, they're in the pockets of these governors. Because the speaker, it is the governor of the state that decides to become the speaker. The governor of the state decides to become the chairman of the very local government. So, and I was saying that Nigeria should put more focus on activities of our governors. Because, for example, a good question, security votes, how is this spent? In Lagos, it's a different thing entirely. Because you can see that Lagos is the safest place in Nigeria. That is what they do with these security votes. If you look at the security outfit,
rapid response.
Absolutely. They have enough equipment, they have enough vehicles to combat crimes and so on and so forth. So you can easily say that Lagos, people that are from Lagos, they spend that vote very well. But in other states, if there is no check and balance, you will not know how these votes are spent. It's only discretion and abuse of the various governors, and that is unfortunate.
All right. Thank you for that. I think we should look at the final paper, or where did I see the story about psychophants? Was it on this one? No, it wasn't.
Daily Trust, I believe.
It was on Daily Trust, yes. Still on Daily Trust. We'll come to
Dangiwa says
I think that final story.
Damakum.
Exactly. Sean psychophants. Dangiwa tells Tinubu. Now, apparently this was gotten from a statement when he was receiving his national awards. He was conferred he was conferred a national honor as one of the leaders of the June 12 movement, and there was a statement from an article. He said, "My CFR National Honors Award." This was a statement that was obtained by Daily Trust, and this was formally announcing the acceptance of the honor given to him in the June 12 struggle. He then talked about, I think the presidency made a mistake. They skipped his name in the broadcast.
Well, not in the
official broadcast. And so he said he's accepted it, and then told the president to lead a war against psychophancy, And then he went on to say that there are other people that, while he appreciates that they gave him this honor, but that there are other people who also fought alongside him, went ahead to list their names. He said, and I quote, "When the president called to inform me of his decision to magnanimously confer me the National Award of Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, on account of my much advertised role in the struggle for the validation of the June 12th election and the affirmation of Chief MKO Abiola's mandate, my first reaction was, why only me, and not all those unsung heroes, those officers and men who actively participated in that struggle, risking their careers and even their lives. Although I was one of the leaders of that movement within the military, my contribution was by no means bigger than theirs. While I have been recognized and celebrated, including this national honor by the president, they have remained anonymous. It is therefore incumbent upon me to reveal the identity of these patriots, if only to acknowledge and commend their contributions to the emergence of the current democratic dispensation." Then he goes ahead to list all the people who...
Like how many names?
Wow, there are quite a number. Let me see if I can run through
not all, just some of them.
As quickly. He said top on his list is the deputy at the Armored Corps Center and School, Colonel M.A. Garba, whose commitment was so strong that he continued with the execution of our plans after some of us were arrested, detained, and mercifully retired in October 1993. He went on as he should to attain the enviable rank of a Major General in the Army. Others are Lieutenant Colonel Lawal Jafaru, the same the UF Ahmed, MS Dasuki, ML Guadabe, Colonel J. Temlong, Musa Shehu, Colonel Chris Eze, Colonel H.M. Zama, Colonel Issa Jibrin, J.O.S. Oshanuping, A. Olorun Toba, Kabi Esi Olugbede of Gbede Kingdom, Moke, Happy Bulos, a lot of these people are Lieutenant Colonel, yes, Olagunsoyo Ilola, J. Ohai, I. Ndubueze, Yakubu Mwazu, Yahaya Abubakar, who is current Etsunupe, Major Saad Abubakar, who is the current Sultan of Sokoto, Major Abba Malari, Major Jamil Tahir, Major Buzugbe, Major LP Aprezi, Major MK Yake, Major General Dawa, Major Suleiman Wali. Then there are a few others. He said others include Major Dauda Komo, Major Loki Torie, Major J.S. Zarwa, Major M. Sumaye, Major Sani Bawa, Major Ndaliman, Major Ahmed, Major Emba, Lieutenant Colonel J.B. Ahmadu, and Captain Junaid Bindawa, and Captain La.
Very magnanimous of him to recognize
and I thought it was also important,
his comrades.
Since I mentioning one, to mention all of them as well.
Very magnanimous of you too.
Thank you.
Take your flowers.
Thank you very much. But let's get your thoughts.
Today, yes. The statement to thank the president and to accept the award. The president, people that listed the names of people to be awarded honors for the honor struggle for June 12. They forgot to mention the name of, to put the name of Colonel Dangiwa.
Yes.
Umar Dangiwa. So when the president visited Kaduna, he symbolically apologized and awarded him the honor. Awarded. But I'm not too comfortable with what Umar wrote yesterday regarding He said presumed winner. Abiola is no longer the presumed winner. Abiola has been officially declared the winner of the 12 elections. And recognized as such with the award of GCFR. So, but having said that,
probably an oversight.
But having said that, I think what we read is something that should be.
Do you think that maybe the presidency should
applauded?
No.
It's not something. It's not a final list. There are many people like Inyam, even though president in the 1990 coup, participated actively.
By the next
on the 12th, the next one, yeah, it's a possibility. You know, it's not something that even Shola Williams was saying that should be there.
Yeah.
He really should.
Yes, absolutely.
He was very vocal.
Very vocal and very bold.
At risk of his life.
He was very audacious in fighting for the validation of that election.
Yes, and Vice Admiral.
I think it's an ongoing thing. I think every democracy day, June 12, more people should be recognized.
We look forward to the
some of
day
them
where
died
we have an
for the struggle of this
that
June
will
12.
be publicly recognized as free, fair, and credible, just like the June 12th election, has been adjudged to be Nigeria's freest and fairest election. Let's go to the Daily Times newspaper, our final paper for this morning. 500 billion naira maintenance deficit plagues Nigeria's bad roads. All right. Okay. We have I think the one here is the wrong one. Can we please double check? This isn't the correct one. The front page of the Daily Times newspaper says 500 billion naira maintenance deficit plagues Nigeria's bad roads. Ex-police IG Arase promotes community policing. Shareholders reject CBN control of unclaimed dividends, demand reform. Tinubu St. Lucia visit rekindles African-Caribbean ties. Ex-Nigerian footballer, Europe-based partner arrested in drug bust. APC national chairmanship, North Central backs Al Makura and be sensitive to sufferings of poor Nigerians, Obi tells Tinubu. But let's go back to this APC national chairmanship. What are your expectations for who would occupy the next seat? And if, for now, I mean, I did ask this question to Felix Moka. There seems to be some sort of internal wrangling and division. The Northwest wants the presidency. The North Central is vying for chairmanship. It just feels like there's a lot of
Northwest wants the vice presidency.
Vice presidency, thank you for that. Vice president. So it looks like there's some sort of internal wrangling in terms of which zone deserves what position. Do you think that the current temporary national chairman will have all that it takes to unify the party and move from this place of internal wrangling and maybe some sort of displeasure until they get the...
There's no wrangling in the PCO.
Okay, you don't think so?
There's jostling for position.
People are not too happy with what is going on.
And why are they jostling for a position that has not been officially declared vacant? The vice presidency.
Do you know why they cannot fight in the APC?
Okay.
Because they're in power. When PDP was in power, there was no fight. According to Kusamotu, former national top official of that party, he told me in 2008, Kusamotu, he said once the party is in power,
you can't fight.
You can't fight because there's something.
There won't be internal crisis.
There's a bigger pie to eat. So since they have removed Ganduje, politicians will always just to.
Yes.
For something. But what we are saying
nature opposes.
Absolutely, they are judging for what you
But we said nature opposes vacuum, but there's no vacuum in the position of the vice presidency. So why are people speaking openly about it? And do you expect a statement from the president? Because if you were in the position of the current vice president, Mr. Shettima, you will feel somehow upset. I have 2 years left on my mandate. I'm still on seat, and people are already openly talking about replacing me, which has never happened since this current democratic dispensation since 1999. I'll find it very awkward. And how is he expected to focus on his job when people are already jostling for his position?
But that is the dilemma that anybody that is vying for vice presidency or deputy governor face. The deputy governor and the vice president.
But it's not usual. It's never happened since 1999.
No, depends. The vice president and the deputy governor is at the discretion, back and call of the governor or the president. That is how it is.
Yes.
And the people, why people are saying that, many people in the north, particularly in the northeast, they are not happy that there are precautions that they may likely remove or replace their man,
Because the reasons why it was a joint ticket, and so many people might have voted
and the party is
for the
saying,
president.
No. And the party is saying that it is at the discretion of the president. If the president gets the nomination of the party to pick his running mate, instead the party did not running mate, the party will now meet and approve it. That is it. It's not automatic. It's a joint ticket, but at the same time, it is when the primary is done with that there's a flag bearer and owns the party's ticket that they will decide the primary. That what happened during Jonathan Yaradua. That happened when Atiku was already governor in Adamawa State. So it's not automatic. But because of politics, sentiment will rise, emotion will rise. Do
you think the president should continue with the current vice president?
No, my opinion, the president is the discretion. The president will pick someone that will enable him to win. Don't forget that. No.
So it goes back to the use and dump.
Yeah, some will pick president that will stay involved.
Okay.
Pick someone
he says it's pragmatism.
Pick someone that will enable you to win and someone that will enable you to rule after winning.
So do you think that Rabiu Kwankwaso?
And that is why George Bush Jr. picked the Cheney to allow him to win and to allow him to rule.
So is it then possible that Rabiu Kwankwaso would enable him because of the influence?
No, it's not sure yet if they pick Kwankwaso. But Kwankwaso coming to APC is a big asset. Kwankwaso is more formidable, more popular, and more structures in Kano than Ganduje. That is a known fact. It's a truism. So if it's coming in, it will be an access to the confirmation of Tinubu's second term in office. But there is that how will people kind of feel? But Kano is the biggest state in Northwest, the most influential. If you pick
millions of votes.
If you pick Ganduje, yes. I think it will add value to the ticket. That is if it's Ganduje. If you pick Kwankwaso, well, Ganduje is not too popular. He had many things hanging on his neck, and it's not too amiable.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's politics. We can't expect more of it. And one thing I should add is that, you see, there's people in APC are already jittery from this coalition.
Why are they jittery?
I've always argued here that the coalition is the only way to pose a threat.
But Mr.
Let me give you information. To pose a threat to APC. The coalition is becoming stronger. And from what I'm hearing, Peter Obi and Atiku are implicitly ready to forgo their ambition. For someone that is very, very formidable.
Who?
Do we know the identity?
I'll mention it here. It's not in the card.
Okay.
I'll mention it here. Someone that, when the guy started to accept, when he started to accept, you can be sure that Tinubu leg will be shaking.
Someone that has more influence than Tinubu.
No, I won't say more influence, but more popular.
Give us.
No, I won't say that. I'm telling you as a medical writer.
Okay, let's hear from Chude calling from Port Harcourt. Jodu Beggar, sorry. Good morning, Chude. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling. Good morning.
Yes. What I want to say about the matter on ground is that even before now, President Tinubu has indicated, has shown the world that he doesn't have a vice president, because the way the man is being treated, the way the vice president is being treated, has even shown the world that he's not going to pick him again. The man has become irrelevant. Even his role, he doesn't even perform anything. It's like the president's son has taken over the job. So I think it's better for the man, for him to drop the man and pick up someone else. Even his actions is pointing towards that he's not going to pick him for the second time. If there will be second time anyway. If there will be second time, he's not going to pick him. He is going for somebody else, maybe to balance the situation of what's on ground. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Chude, you're saying if there will be second term, with all we are saying, is it not evident that they most likely will
if they win,
term?
I guess that's what it is.
I know, but I understand what he's saying. But with the way Nigeria's politics has been structured, with the way that it has worked, does it not look like already there is strong indication that the power of incumbency will be, will wield its
Not
influence.
all the time. Mr. President Jonathan lost as an incumbent, so we'll just wait and see. Now, I want to ask Mr. Habib Aruna this question as a political strategist and someone who's been in the corridors of power. In the game of poker, you hold your cards very, okay, you are very halal, you are not a gambler, close to your chest, but I'm just using this metaphorically. Don't you think it's too early for the APC to be revealing its strategies, these changes? You are 2 years away from the Why don't you shock and surprise your opponents?
The APC leadership and apparatchik, they are not aware of what is going on in the coalition. But there are people among the coalition people. And yes, when you listen to what Erufai last week on the TV program, he was so bold and he was so confident that Tinubu is gone. They have something on their sleeve. So they should not be sleeping. And the Tinubu I know want to be ahead of the game.
So this rearrangement,
yes, but there is a deliberate effort now and move by some people among the economic class, military class, political class, to give this man a good fight. And he knows that. I'm telling you now.
Well, one day we'll...
we see, I told you the other time, that if you look at it very well, at the end of the day, nobody is sure of his position in the APC. Nobody is sure. And as time goes on, you will see the way they will moving and put. And in APC, I foresee a situation whereby they will appoint a CPC person to replace Ganduje.
Just to balance it even
absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
I want to take your thoughts on something very interesting. We have a few minutes left, so I need your opinion on this. We're in Lagos State, and Lagos State is of very utmost importance to us. Since the end of the Miranda and Obasa debacle, we've not heard any activities in the Lagos State House of Assembly, and it's been very quiet. But just last week, the governor of Lagos State traveled from Lagos to Abuja to go and thank the president for wishing him a happy birthday. What do you make of this waste of resources and this junketing in the name of politicking when majority of street lights in Lagos are not functional and the State House of Assembly is not saying anything about this? Have we suspended governance for politicking in Lagos, the so-called center of excellence?
But being someone that has been in government up there, the governor managed the image of the governor of the state, I'm disturbed. I'm disturbed. But at the same time,
you saw that.
I'm disturbed.
Yes.
When I drive around town, look at the chaos on our roads.
The darkness
on our roads. Look at the lack of effectiveness in enforcing law and order. I'm disturbed. But politics is like that, my brother. We are journalists.
No. Happy birthday in
no. Don't also forget that. Before the bad day, the governor was being in a big mess. He has been embattled.
In a conundrum.
Yes. So it was the president wishing well after he had already said, I've forgiven you. So it's not out of the way for the governor as a good man, as a good guy, as a good boy, to go to Abuja and say, thank you very much, thank you very much, sir. When politics is allowed.
Politics is different from normal life.
There are things that we cannot take as journalists.
We are not.
That is allowed in politics.
We are not on the same level.
So, and I always tell people, if you cannot bear the heat, leave the kitchen.
Wahala.
And on that note, I think it's time for us to leave the kitchen, my sister. Because the heat is getting unbearable.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us this morning. To our guests, those who joined us virtually as well as in studio, thank you for your time. We'll be back again tomorrow.